Hello everyone, this is CoinsKid. I'm just bringing a Chainlink video to you today. Sorry about the wind if you can hear that. It's quite windy where I am. It's stormy in England, Leicester. So anyway, just jumping into the Chainlink chart here, you can see that we're slightly recovering from this enormous dip that we've experienced over the past few days. It is recovering quite nicely. You can see that we did dip down all the way from there down to there, so we've had a 43% correction there on Chainlink. The question is what's going to happen going forward. So if we can try and find some answers in this and see what could potentially happen. So at the moment we did dip all the way down. The local bottom there was at $20.74. So we're currently trading 35% up from that, which is good. But what could potentially happen now? So what I'm going to do is look in the history of these corrections and see if we can see any form of pattern. So the last time we had like a potentially major correction was possibly this one here is quite major. So we measured that. It wasn't as major as the one we've just experienced, but it was quite a bit of a correction. It was 34%. So potential play is that, you know, this last correction here, which was 34%, I think we said. So we came down, we bottomed out just there, and we came back up, and then what we did, we got rejected, and we came back down just to test that level of support. And as you can see, it wicked right down. If we zoom right in here, guys. So in this crash, you see we came down to this level, we wicked down there, and then we came back up, and then we came back down. And as we came back down, you can see that we wicked down to the body of the bottom of the dip. Okay, so we tested it as support on the way up, just to clarify that we had bottomed out on this particular dip. And then obviously we continued on with a trend upwards. Basically a correction. And I think we're going to be looking at something very similar with Chainlink. So if we jump to the price action right now, so right now on Chainlink, we could be looking at an exact same thing of what happened before. So the crash is there, we came down, we wicked down, we've come back up, and we may come down and test the bottom of this body of the candle as support. So we may see a potential dip down in Chainlink down to 23.55, guys. So let's mark that up for you. Yeah, so we may see a potential dip and a retest of support to clarify that this is the bottom before we get another bounce, guys. So again, just clarify, we may come down, we've come down. So again, what we may be looking at here for Chainlink is a bit of a dump down to 23.55, a retest of support at the bottom of the body of this dip, not the wick, and then a bounce and continuation in the uptrend, guys. That's a potential play over the next couple of days for Chainlink, guys. Just a retest of this bottom support. Again, if we can look at the previous dips, we may find a very similar structure in the way it corrected and went back up. So there was that correction there. There was this correction here. In December, we had a correction. And as you can see, just there, we sort of did go, we came crashed, went back up, tested the bottom of support of the body, and then we're off again. I know we went down again further into the time frame there, but we did consolidate and come back up. But in the meantime, I could be expecting a very similar move to this correction here, where we crashed, went up, came back down, tested the body of the crash, the bottom of the candle there, the price action, you see that, and then off we went. As long as we don't fall below the wick on the current price action, that's something to keep an eye on. Otherwise that would be really bearish for Chainlink, and we could expect a further dip in the current price target for Chainlink. So again, what I am expecting here for Chainlink, well, you could basically open a short from here, guys, from this position right now. We could go short on Chainlink from here, set yourself a small stop loss, guys, come down, a retest of this support there. So you'd be looking at a 15% short trade, guys. So on any leverage platform, you know, you can get 4x, 5x, 10x, 100x even. Again, not financial advice, and we may just see Chainlink bounce here, but the previous corrections, I like to look at them and nitpick them and see if I can spot any patterns. And I do spot a particular pattern in the sense that we have the initial bottom and we seem to form what looks like a bit of a dead cat bounce, come back down, test the bottom of the body, of the candle as support before we continue in an uptrend. Again, if we was to lose this body of support, then this wouldn't be the actual dip. We would continue to dip, and that's where we would bring up the EMAs. So if we look at the EMAs, you can see we're really far away on the EMAs. We're just coming up to it now. You can see we're just coming up to the 10 EMA now. We're just starting to form a little bit of resistance on that 10 EMA. So are we going to dip further, or we're going to break through it, guys? So let's look at the weekly time, the daily time frame. So you can see that on the daily time frame here, guys, we are bouncing off this EMA there. We did it the 55 EMA, which we spoke about. That's positive. It wouldn't be too good if we actually dip right down to this level, so that would be quite bearish. But again, the EMAs are holding really well for Chainlink here, guys. So we keep targeting the EMAs as support and resistance. That is quite a nice bounce. But I would expect us to dip down to this support level here of this body, and it will look quite bearish. But as long as we can bounce off this 23.55, and then we'll be on our way again, guys. Well, I just want to show you some news on Chainlink, which is quite positive. Here's Sergey Nazaroth right here. Is he saying that Chainlink is literally going to 10x? If you take a look at this footage, guys. Okay, so I'm just going to play this for you guys.
And tell us what's next for Chainlink, and how does it fit into this ecosystem, and what are your plans to take it even further?
So we continue to notice that the rate at which we put data on chain is the rate at which people are able to make markets and financial products and insurance products and all kinds of smart contracts around that data. And so what we are now reaching is a new chapter in Chainlink scalability, where we're genuinely looking at a 10x increase in its scalability. And so we expect that to create a 10x increase in the amount of data we're able to put on chain, as well as our ability to integrate in many different chains. So what we're basically seeing is the degree to which we're able to efficiently put more and more data onto a blockchain and various blockchains is the degree to which people are able to build more and more financial products around that data. And as we are seeing and are in the process of now finalizing the launch of a 10x increase in the amount of data we can put on, we expect that to have a ripple effect through the larger DeFi ecosystem to create even larger amounts of decentralized financial products out there in the market. And then from there, we continue to both increase the breadth and the type of data that we will be providing, increasing the breadth and the type of smart contracts that can be made on chain, as well as the depth and the quality of data that we're providing to various use cases, which will subsequently make them more reliable, larger in the amount of value that they can hold, and kind of just create growth. So our goal is to continue to support the decentralized financial movement and ecosystem by providing more and higher quality data. And we've already seen that our ability to do that allows that ecosystem to grow, which is something we're extremely proud to be a part of.
Well, Sergey, thanks so much for joining us. It's definitely an interesting and evolving space.
Thank you very much for having me. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you can see that, guys. That's really positive for Chainlink. Some good news about scalability and Chainlink moving forward. So it's a really good project, guys. And I do see long-term potential for Chainlink. It's not going anywhere. It's evolving. More use cases every day. So Chainlink is a really good project, guys. So yeah, just to clarify, guys, what potentially could see if we was to dip. That's what I'm saying. If we was to dip, we may not dip. We may just keep going up like this now, because I do like the way we have retraced here on Chainlink, to be honest with you, on the 4-hourly time frame. It's quite a sharp correction here. It's not like this, like we're very bear flag. The angle is very nice. So, but if we was to roll over, then I would expect this level right here, guys, to act as solid support going forward. So if we was to dip, keep an eye on this level right here, guys, at 23.55 as a major support level for Chainlink going forward. So again, you could short it here and long it there. So again, just looking at the monthly time frame here, if you bring up the EMAs on the monthly, you can see we are quite away from it, guys. And not to sound too bearish, but even if we was to come down and test these bottom EMAs here, like the 55, as we have done here in these corrections, then we would still be in a bull trend. We would still be in an uptrend for Chainlink. But short term, hopefully, if it was to lose a bit of momentum, I would be expecting a bounce off of 23.55 there, guys, which just kind of ties up with that 10 EMA as well, which is quite positive. We could look at something like this Chainlink again. It goes up. Okay, so if we was to take that marker there, I know it's not an exact science, but from the top, and we could dip down again. Look at that level there, guys. We could dip down and potentially pump all the way up to $50 if we would just copy this cycle here, copy this bearish dip and continuation there. Not an exact science, I know that. Anyway, that's Chainlink, guys. Catch you tomorrow.